Good morning. I am Bhavyaka. I am gonna explain about Qlikview, which is a visualization software. So, this is my Qlikview project I have created. If I double click on it, it just opens the application. Now, just press Ctrl E, which opens the script. So, before going to the script, we need to have connection with the database, and we need to have already existed database. Now, you can see there are two options over here, connect and select. So just click on the drop down beside connect option. Here it shows ODBC, OLEDB and the administrative data provider. So ODBC is basically it is connected with the SQL developer, Oracle SQL developer, and OLEDP is used for the server which is in the MS SQL part. So at present I am using Oracle SQL Developer. So select ODBC and then connect. So here we'll connect to the data source. We can give the username. So I already had username and password. So I'll select the system and the password as same. So if I click on OK, I can text the connection over here. So you can see like connection text succeeded. So it just established the connection between the Qlikview and also the database server. So now I need I at present the connection is established, and if you can see over here ODBC connect to system user ID is and password. So this shows that the connection is established. Now I can able to perform lot many activities with the database. Uh, so in order to populate all this data, click on select. So if you click on select, you can see the data says name as system. So my connection is already established with the system data source. It shows that name. If it is established with the SP database, then it shows SP data source. Now you can see the owner here as system, student portal and all. These are my database names. So I'm going to select student portal database. Now you can see the left side part show all tables and views. So there is no need of uh, selecting views and aliases, so I'm going to select only tables over here. So here it shows all the tables I have created in the student portal database. If I want a particular database to be populated, I need to select the table. This shows in the right side fields, it shows all the columns of that particular table. And if you can see the fields in the text order or original order, anything is fine. Original order is how we create the database of that, how we create that table in that particular database is the original order. Now if you see the script part over here, I have selected the company database. So it just select star from, I have selected star field, so star from which database and that company name. Now it shows uh, all the attributes of the company table. So it just loads all the attributes. If you click on table, it shows the table, and columns will give all the column names. Preview will give all the data of that company table. So this is how everything looks like. So if you click on OK, it just loads this statement over here. This is how we can populate that company table in the script. If you want to join two or more tables, so here I'll show an example of I want to join company and contact. So this is an example where I join company and contact table. I'll just populate the company table and contact table. So then I'll just remove the meanwhile syntaxes and I'll just add the join syntax over here. And it just populates. This is the normal query we use in Oracle SQL Developer, and we just named it as SQL. And these are the attributes of that particular table. We'll just load it into our Qlikview. how the entire script looks like. Now we'll go in detail about it. So if you click on escape, or we can click on reload. Escape will jumps back to the main page. Reload will reload all the data in our script. So click on reload. So it shows all the data which are fetched from those particular tables. These are all the column names of those tables. I can also select a specific table name, and I can able to display all these. So for as of now, I'll just click on OK. So here, this is the main page. Here, this is how I populated all the database, this company table. So before going with the visualization of the database, I'm going to explain about what database I use and what are the relationships of the tables in that database. So I use company portal, student portal database. In the database, there are company table, contact table, industry, job, internship. So company table is the table where we have the list of all the companies. Each company will have a company ID, address, city, info, or the contact, email, locality, name, postal code, state, and website. And this is the company which offer internships. And contact are the persons of that particular company. I can name that as supervisor also. So this is each contact will have contact ID, email address, first name, last name, middle initial, phone number, and title. And now industry. Industry is the way in which department that company belongs to. Is it software side, hardware side, manufacturing, like that? So I'll have an industry ID and also title of that industry. And job is the table where that particular student or the company offers jobs. So those are the titles of that specific company. Internship is a table where the student will get access. The student will apply for an internship and the professors will approve with that internship. So it shows like approval date, approved by, and which company that represents the company ID, and which course, credits, end date, hours per week, and all. Now, uh, this is the company contact table will be joined together in this table, and the company industry table will be seen over here, and company job is here. So this is how the entire database looks like. Now, if I want to have a list of only the company contacts of that specific company, just click on the company ID. So this shows like the title of that specific. Uh, if I want to show the persons applied for internship of that particular company. So if you can see these hundreds over here, so that ID is specified to that particular company. So here I can see the current selections, company ID and number. So here I have included two buttons, reload and clear. Clear is the option where I can clear all the formattings, and reload is the option where it just reloads the database. So every time I need not want to go to the script part and reload the database. If I click on that reload option, it just reloads the database. So now, so if you can see, you can able to see all those lines like company, how many lines are fetched in that particular table of that entire database. So now coming to the part, I'll show you how to create those reload and clear, and how to create a sample table box. So it just strucks over here, so I'll reopen this application. Yeah, it's got it. Now just right click on 1 second. Okay. So now I will show you how we will get these two buttons, reload and clear. Just right click on right click and then Click on new sheet object. Here you can able to see all the options. Click on button. So this button will reload. Just name it as reload. So you can give any color to that button. So I'll keep it as blue. Go to actions, and now we are performing some action to that button. So we need to define what kind of action we are performing. So just click on add, then go to external. So here you can see like reload. Just click on OK and then apply. So this is how reload works. So I already have reload. I'll just cancel this one and I'll remove this reload option. In the same way, the clear is also there. There is also clear all format. So now I will show you how to populate this company table database. In the same way, right click new sheet object. Here you can be able to see all the options. So click on table box as we want to display the data in the form of table box. Here just click on one of the table. For suppose I want to select company table. You can able to see all the columns. I can add all or also I can add one of those add button using add button. So I'll just create this one as company duplicate. So this is how it looks like. Click on OK. So it just populates the data of that particular company. Now I'll just remove this one. This is how I created all the tables from the database. Now so every time it's not necessary to see all the columns. Few times like we only need information of the specific column. So there are main columns which we want to see. Those are projected in sheet 1. So here if I want to know only what companies are there, I can able to list a company like this. And also in a similar way I can able to list all the contacts, all the jobs, industry and then. And these are the tables where if I want the contacts of that particular company, only the contacts is required for me. For me, there is no need of seeing all those contacts, address, locality, and all. So I have selected only company ID, company name, their contacts, and their respective email and company email. So these are only the priority columns I want to look at. So I just added join the table and I just added as a sample data. And this is how company job and company industry also looks like. So I'll show you how I added this one. So before going to it, I just wrote script for to join company table and contact table. So now right click new sheet object and then table box. So here I named it as company 1, which includes company table and contact table. I added all the so I added only few fields which are necessary for me and I click on apply. So this is how only few fields can be displayed by using the join table. So here for suppose there are any empty values like there are null values. If you can see in the contact table you can see the null values of middle initial and that is not necessary over here. For suppose there are any null values for title or something like that and we want to omit those rows, just click on properties, presentation and omit rows. So this is how we'll remove those rows. Just click on middle initial, omit rows, apply. So this is how you can see the empty rows of middle initial are gone. So now I'll just redoing it, apply, okay, and it again display. So this is all about the database introduction and then listing of all these tables and joining those tables, and I included the selection button over here also so that each time there is no need to go to the main page and all. Now the visualization and graphs part will be explained by Manoj.
Hi guys, Manoj. So now we have the entire database. So now we'll play around with the database. So how we can uh, generate different kinds of graphs and everything. So if I go to the copy of main, so this is my design of the database. So for example, here in the first table, you could see the average, maximum, and minimum wages for a person in a specific company. So, uh, in order to look at this, like if you want to look into the table and do it, it would be really tough to figure it out how to, what would be the average or maximum or minimum wages of a person. But here, using Qlikview, you can generate this graph and it will be very easy. Also, for example, if you want to just look at a specific company, for example, B507, you can just click on it and you could see only the maximum, minimum, and average wages of that company B507. So, in the same way, you can do this table says in a particular fall or spring term, how many interns are being hired per the year, and this one says for a particular company for a particular year what would be the count of interns. So in this way you can play around with the data. So I'll show you how to create a chart. For example, we create this chart. So if you right click and go to the new sheet object, so these are all the features available in the clip view. So the list box or static box, multi box, table box, chart. In this case, it's a bar graph. So we'll click on the chart, and apart from that, you have many other features. So if I click on chart, so there is a bar graph. So I will select on bar graph and then click next. So here I wanted companies and wages and the wages. So firstly, the company name is in the company table, whereas the wages for that particular company will be there in the internship table. So what we have done is, like Bhavya said, we have we joined the two tables, company and internship, and we named it as contact one. So if I go into that table, I have listings of all the columns of all the tables. So here I can select a company name. So contact underscore intern underscore company name, and I click next. And here I would say an expression. So I would like average of contact underscore intern underscore wages. So it's here, and I click OK, and that's added. So I also wanted the maximum minimum, so I again click on add. So minimum of contact underscore wages. Here it is. So I will select it as well. So I click OK again, and the same way I have to do it for the maximum also. So it would be wages with the closing bracket. Click OK. So now you have all the expressions and the x-axis as the company name. So if you click finish, this would generate a graph. So this would generate a graph for that. Uh, but here I'm getting an average of the wages, but not the company. So there is some mistake. So I would go back and see dimensions. So here the company name is not added. So I would select the contact one again and the company name and click OK. Okay. So again I did something wrong. So it's like I have to click on add. So contact one, company name, and then click on add. It is added. Then click apply and OK, and this is there right now. So this is how we can create and see what would be the maximum, minimum, or average salaries a particular company gives. I already have this, so I would remove this. And this is one of the basic, interesting one. So the pie chart says that for a particular company, what would be the number of interns hired. So this is one of the most interesting one. And you can select, for example, P507. It would say 60 people have been hired, and also if you select on Boeing, in bus service there are 4 people. So Boeing, 9 people. So this is, you can play around with whatever you want to do. So this graph shows you the number of interns for each contact. So there is a contact ID, and the expression would be the number of interns, the count of interns. So it will be the same as the procedure. Go to the chart, then in the expression it is number of interns for each contact, and dimensions if you added the contact ID. So it would get generate as this graph, and the graph you can select from the general. So this is the graph. So, and this is one more interesting feature. So for this, if you right click and go to the new sheet object, it's like a slider or a calendar object. So I would just right click and go to the properties, and if you click on that, this would be projected. So here I just add a field year, so then I got that. So if I select a particular year, 2003, 2013, so here the graph changes. It's showing us only the number of interns hired in 2013, and if I select on 2014, it would show only the number of interns hired in the year 2014. And also here it's showing the count of internship ID. So this is one of the interesting features again. We will clear it and go back to the original one. And also if you go to the sheet 4, there's some more graphs here. So this graph is telling you the number of contacts for each company. So for each company, how many contacts are there. So if you go to the properties and see how I did this. So in the dimensions, I'm adding the company ID, and in the expressions, I'm giving you the count of the contacts. So that's it. So then I would get this number of contacts for each company, and also this one is like, for example, every company might be a public sector or a private sector. So if the companies are false, that means it is a private sector. Then what are all the companies which are private sectors is these companies. So what are these companies? The pink one, that's Pioneer. The yellowish one is Dell, and the reddish one is Boeing, and the blue one is P507. So all these are private, and these are the public ones. If you click on only the private companies, so that should show me. Probably I clicked on wrong one. So yeah, so that's how it works. And also this graph shows you the number of interns in a particular company, and we have seen this. And one of the most interesting feature is the container. So you could see all the full database in a container if you add those. So to get a container, just right click and go to the properties. So go to the new sheet object, and here is a container. So if you click on the container, you would get this. So here in the container, you could add any of these, the number of interns for each contact, add the number of interns for each term ID. So whatever you wanted, you can select anything you wanted and then just play around it. If you click apply, you will get a container with all these three. So number of interns for each term, number of credits, so everything you got. one of the most interesting one which you can do with the Qlikview. So now we would see the remaining graphs. This is the count of intern for a company. So the same thing. So for a particular job, what would be the count of these jobs in a particular company? So that's what this graph says. So for the CEO, there are four to five positions of CEO jobs available. There are DVMS developer jobs available. There are hiring manager jobs available. So these many jobs are available. This graph says all those things. And the jobs offered for company. This is one of the most interesting feature again. So if you wanted to apply for an internship, then you could see this. Like for example, for Dell, it's have two interns open in it. So all these features add up in having a clear understanding of the data you have. And this one says for a particular company, so all these are companies in the inner circle, and all these are interns. For example, for the company 100, these four are the interns in the company 100. So the 1, 2, 3, 4 are the interns in the company 100. So in the company 200, there are three interns. So this graph shows you those things. So this is how you can play around with the graphs with the data you have. And now Bhavya will explain on how to create a report.
To create a report, click on reports, and then so here you can see I already created two reports, company profile and document report one. So if I'll just edit this company profile report and then go to print preview. So this is how created. Before that, just close it. Reports, go to edit reports. These are the two reports I created. So I'll just add a new one. I'll just name it as Qlikview sample. Click on OK. So it just added over here. And we need to edit this one. So I just don't want to give all the records as print. I just want to select few of those records. So I need to drag this one and display it like this. So this is how it will be. And I can also add a single paper page. If I want this page settings to be changed, go to page settings, general, and click on landscape. OK. So it just shows. So this is how I can make this image more clear using landscape. Just expand it and click on OK. Now I can directly see this report over here. I can give it to the print as well. So this is all about Qlikview. Play around with all the graphs, and our main motto of the Qlikview is to project the client with a visual view of the database with more user friendly. Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching the video.